All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Unbounded podcast. I am once again Daniel Ibarra, and this is
I
Sergio.
am Sergio Manriquez.
We need to come up with broadcaster nicknames.
Broadcaster nicknames.
But for whatever reason, those guys always have random nicknames. They're like, "Oh, my name is Jeremiah Thin Mint Jeremy's." I don't know, something like
Thin Mints.
Thin Mints. We are back, and
What's up?
We're gonna continue this. What's that hum? Oh, it's the fridge.
That's your fridge, homie.
All right, I'm gonna start it back up from the top. Okay?
All right, let's go from the top. Top.
All right.
And action.
So we are back with another episode of the Unbounded podcast.
Unbounded.
I am Daniel Ibarra, and to my
I
left,
am Sergio Manriquez.
So we are back once again. We are going to continue the ball rolling. If you saw our first other episodes, thank you very much. We appreciate it very much so. I know I got a lot of reactions from my very first episode. I did get to get real for a second, and we just kind of talked about, us and what was going on. So yeah. I know for me, I got a lot of messages and from people who remember seeing, because I'll always remember what one person told me. They're like, I had no idea you were going through any of that, because every time I saw you, you were always in a good mood. You're always happy. You were always whatever. And I think that's something that kind of resonates with us, because when you told me a bunch of stuff about what you were going through, I was like, okay, yeah, I guess if you say so.
I try not to show it. I'm not gonna broadcast it out there for everybody to see. Whatever I got going on in my life is solely to me. Unless I need help, then I'll ask for it. But
You're terrible at asking for help.
I am. I'm working on it though. I need to realize when I need help.
Right, and I think that's one of the things that I need to focus on too, because I have a problem saying no. Me too. They're like, hey, can you grab this crowbar and break this thing open? All right, cool, let's do it.
Yeah, cool. And then you end up, how the hell did I end up in jail? What's going on here?
Exactly. So, and that's a great, that's a great example of what happens a lot, because sometimes I'll end up places or end up in situations that I'm just like, dude, I should not be here. Or
I definitely should not be here.
and
why did I say yes?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Right, and then you're just like, why am I here? Why do I have a headdress on and 3 different? And so, but it's just one of those things that I am definitely in 2020 focusing.
2020
focusing a lot on what I need to do for me, because again, this is the whole point of this podcast. We're doing it so we can get creative again, so we can get back to what we were doing before. And I have a lot of New Year's resolutions, dog. I wouldn't say a lot. I have very important New Year's resolutions. Do you have?
Do you have any? I probably have 2, but most importantly, I have a roadmap to where I want to be by the end of the year.
That's something. That's just being productive.
Okay. See, that's the thing. That's what we're going to talk about today. That's our episode of podcast. Is New Year's resolutions and what we think of them and where we're going.
I was trying to make it seamless and just be like, oh, this is what we're talking about, but you're the absolute worst at going with the vibe and taking the hint.
Well, no, so because we need to break back into and do our intro.
So we're doing New Year's resolutions, but so I want you to share before we get to that. What are some of your New Year's resolutions?
So the only 2 that I really have is number 1, get healthier. I've lacked in that aspect physically and mentally. So I need to get back to a good place where I feel comfortable.
I feel that.
And I want to start training again, dancing wise. I lost absolutely all of the flexibility that I worked very, very hard for. I feel like I've lost all of the technique that I worked really, really hard for. I would stay extra hours at school, go on the weekends, even at home. I would play video games on my tiptoes just to get used to the feeling of that. I'd play video games in a straddle position to try and get my splits. So like I worked hard for it and I lost it. It's gone.
Yeah.
So those are the only two real resolutions that I have, and then I have a map, well, two road maps of where I want to be from now until the end of the year, both personally and professionally.
I got you.
So I think because I've done the whole thing. I've done the whole New Year's resolutions, and I'll make a list of like 10, and then
they never happen.
Never happen.
So I think they're not necessarily, because I feel the exact same way. It's like they're not resolutions as more of it's a to-do list for this year. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So, and I understand that point, but if you ask, the majority of people will give you the number one resolution that everybody says is, I'm gonna start going to the gym. I'm gonna get fit again. I'm gonna look sexy by summer. You know what I mean?
I look sexy now.
Yeah, you do. But most people would be like, yeah, I need that beach body by summer, and it's
beach
like
bodies by
that's
Drake.
Cool. that's really cool that you want that 100%. But how are you gonna get there?
Right. It's that.
And that's the thing is like everybody.
Dedication.
Exactly. Everybody gets that. Everybody says it. Oh yeah, that's my number one New Year's resolution right there. Boom, done. Okay, how are you gonna get there? They have no plan.
Right.
No idea of how they're gonna end up there. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to the gym, but with no planning, no idea on what to execute, no follow through. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get there, and by the end of the month, you're done.
Right. And so I feel the exact same way because I mean, you know a little bit of what happened, and I've never really shared it publicly in a sense, but one of the things that took me out of Hyundai is I ended up getting diverticulitis.
Yes.
And that absolutely floored me for like 3 weeks. If anybody's ever had diverticulitis, it is probably one of the worst pains that I've felt in my life thus far.
I can't imagine.
And it's just crazy, dude. Like they said, in the hospital, they told me that like, good thing you came in, because had you waited or pushed it off anymore, we would have had to have operated and cut out a majority of, or not a majority, but we would have to have operated and removed a percentage of your intestine, of your small intestine.
Yeah, and it's not the same after that.
And it was crazy because like my body is not the same. Like I'll eat stuff that I was eating at the dealership, like a lot of snacks and a lot of
throw you for a loop.
And I eat it now, and it absolutely grosses me out. And I'm just like, I'll fight my way through it because I'm like, no, I need this. I used to eat it all the time, and then it hits my body, and then I'll get all the similar pains again. And I'm like, and I'm just there.
Bad idea,
dude. I'm there chugging water. Like someone who smokes weed before a drug test. I'm just like...
all the water.
Exactly. And so it's like, that's the thing now. It's my New Year's resolutions are actually going to have to be lifestyle changes because of everything that's happened thus far. And like I mentioned in our first episode and the second episode, that I went through a lot of things health-wise. And I'll say the same thing that, I dealt a lot with. I almost said I'm going to echo what you said, and me and my best friend were talking about how we hate the phrase. I'll echo what he said because it's like, well, he already said it. Why are you going to say it again? Or I'm going to piggyback off of what he said. So,
piggybacking is a little different, but that's a discussion for a different time.
But I was dealing with the same exact things because my goals are the same. Where I need to take care of myself mentally because where I was at was horrific. I had never, just getting past that point in my life, I had never dealt with anxiety like that before. I'd never dealt with loneliness like that before.
You had a few episodes there.
I never, I was never that person that dealt with like, world-breaking anxiety because it would get bad. Because that anxiety would turn into existentialism, and that existentialism would drive me so far that, suicide was the next step. Like, when it came to that, when, not that I was going to do it, but, those particular thoughts would work their way in. And so, when people talk about how suicide and things are a mental illness, when you go on that trip, it absolutely is because it feels like a runaway freight train. And anybody out there who's dealing with those things of extreme anxiety or extreme, existentialism, I know how crippling it can be. And if you ever need depression. To talk to anybody, talk to both of us. Like, reach out to us.
We've been there. We've dealt with it. We live with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, please, let us know what's going on. We'd rather sit and talk to you about it than have to hear about something happening to you later on. Like,
and it's not. And that's the thing. You can feel so isolated to the point where you think that your thoughts or your feelings are irrelevant to everyone else because, the fact of the matter is the world is huge. It will not stop spinning when you're gone. But we need you here with us. I like to reference Tech Nine, at least in my head a lot. He always puts kind of this thing in a lot of his albums where he says, "This is a message to the mentally disturbed. Your time is coming. Stay with us. Trust." And so that's kind of the whole thing because
that's all.
Being mentally disturbed sucks. Like it really just does. It's the worst, and it's like you kind of feel robbed in a sense where those thought processes aren't normal. And when you see other normal people, when you see other normal people, it kind of makes you frustrated and it makes you feel hopeless in a sense. But one of the things is like, if you don't make that decision to decompress, let it out, however it is, get through it. If you don't take care of yourself mentally, other people won't know how to approach you and help you out. Unless they've been through it. Like I've been through it. Sergio's been through it. We're getting through that. And so that's one of the things, like I don't have resolutions. I really don't. I have things that I need to better if I want to stay here longer. You know what I mean? That's not... So my thing is like, I need to lose quite a bit of weight. And that was one of the things that they told me when, I went in for diverticulitis. They're like, Mr. Ibarra, your weight is an issue, but you already know that. Now, the thing is the reason why this is so severe is a lot to do with your weight. You're heavy, you're big, you're obese, and it makes it a lot more difficult. And they're like, not to say that it can't be fixed. You're still very young, and you can still change that around. And so...
You just have to make the change.
Yeah, you have to make it. You have to stick to it.
Make it happen.
So it's funny because today... Normally,
I'm actually going through the same thing right now with my knee.
Yeah, dude. It's...
For people who haven't seen me or people that don't know me, if you guys are watching this... I have a tear in my meniscus and a tear in the lateral ligament in my right knee. 2 tears in 2 different ligaments in my knee. Mostly due to the fact of my weight, honestly. For the past few months, my knee's been hurting a lot, and I thought it was just tired. I've been walking and standing a lot, especially at Hyundai. You're on your feet all the time.
Yeah.
But who am I kidding? I mean, like, it wouldn't be hurting that bad if I didn't have that much weight on my knee to start with.
Right.
And then I was going down the stairs one day and my knee literally just buckled sideways, and that little stretch that it gave is what gave the tear. So, I physically as well, I need to lose some weight too. I need to make that happen, which is why I'm going there, and I have the plan and I have the steps that I need to take in order to execute it so that I can live a better life.
Absolutely.
A healthier life.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, because it's like, we've both gotten to the point where life has tried to rob us of our therapy.
Yeah.
Because I know therapy for you was acting and dancing. Mm-hmm. Therapy for me was music. I can't sing. I could never sing. So I ended up gravitating towards hip hop because you don't need to sing to rap.
You just talk in a really cool voice and a little bit of rhythm behind it, and you're good.
I mean, yeah. Rhythm and poetry. That's really what it is.
That's all it is.
And so,
Rhymes.
And that's, we're working back to that. And it's all about development and getting back to that. And it's just kind of like being at the bottom of a very steep mountain. Because it's like we chose to grapple with the 2 hardest things to deal with, which is physical health and mental health.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but it's definitely doable. I know guys that I know men and women that have been in the opposite end of where I'm at now. On both ends of the spectrum. So I have people who never took the chance to improve themselves and get through what I'm going through right now. And on the other end of the spectrum, I know people that have gone through it, and they're so thankful for that journey that I'm starting now. Yeah. Because it makes them better, stronger, faster, all that.
That Kanye West song.
Hey, I'm going to punch you in the throat if you do not give proper credit what credit's due. Oh my God. But yeah, that's I mean, absolutely, that's what it's at. And we're on the same journey again. This is why we're doing this podcast.
It's funny that we met and everything, and our lives are so mirrored in so many different ways.
Right. And one of the things that I always think about, like when I'm sitting here editing or when I'm sitting here working on stuff, I'm like, we're two completely different people. Had we not been involved with the things that we would have never crossed paths, period.
Ever.
So I think about, dang, we're mirroring each other in the walk that we're in now. How many other people
has it happened to?
Has it happened to?
Yeah. Or how many are
going through it now? Or how many other people are waiting to go through this exact period? And it's like, if I can, and that's another thing in my life, I've always been really into, like an important thing was not letting other people talk for me, for being my voice, because it's all about representation. It's all about you feeling like you've been heard. And if I can help somebody find their voice or be their voice for someone who doesn't have the courage to talk about, doesn't have the courage to talk about these different things, like, do it. Yeah. Just like way back in the day, people like Wu-Tang Clan, MF Doom, a lot of these hip-hop legends gave me the courage to try to put pen to pad and talk about what I want to talk about. If I could help someone do that, if I could help someone, inspire someone to pick up the camera and grab a microphone and just continue forward, that's what it is.
For me, it was a group of friends in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Brian, James, Robert, and Josh. May he rest in peace. But those 4 guys, probably the most important people in my life that
like transformed
my idea. Yeah, I wasn't so susceptible to other people's opinions. I started thinking for myself. I finally found my voice. And when that happened to me, I did the same thing. It was like, I found my voice and I was able to, I'm going to help somebody else find it too.
Right.
If you need it, I'm there.
Yeah, it gives you that voice or that outlet to better cope with everything going on around you. And it no longer becomes stuff happening to you. It becomes, how do you get around it and get through it?
How do you make things happen? How do you make things happen?
Right. And when you discover that power, that superpower, or that secret power, that secret talent, whatever you have, you can start defining your own world around you.
Yeah. And
you can start creating your own world rather than the world just happening to you. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I've struggled with a lot. At least, just in the whole...
And not to say that things won't keep happening, because that's just the world that we live in.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Anything and everything is going to happen at any given moment. But you set the tone and you set up how you respond to what's going on in your life and what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Either you let it take you down, or, you take a knee for a second, you regroup, you take a deep breath, figure out how you're going to do it, and get back up on your feet and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Mm-hmm. Nobody else has got that. And as going back, these New Year's resolutions, is everybody's got them. A lot of people have probably already dropped them by this point. We're almost at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But don't give up on them. I mean, even if you drop them, crap, take a few days, take a week, take whatever time you got to do it and get back on the boat, get back on it and do it again. And if you're still on it, keep going.
Absolutely.
You're the one that makes that choice. You're the person in your own way.
Yeah, it's like Teslas don't get gassed. You have all that power inside of you. Duh. You like that one?
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful, but it was stupid. And that's the whole idea, dude. It's that's the thing, and I know, at least for me, eating right is where I need to start, and then going down that journey of, you know, physically changing my body around and getting through that. And because there's just things that I know a lot of my, like, there's heart disease that runs in my family, and I'm young enough
Diabetes runs in mine.
and you know, we're young enough to get out ahead of that. I know we have hearing loss, memory loss in my family, you know, different things like that. And it's like, I can do things now to get around that. So that way I know bodies are ever deteriorating and all that stuff, but, you know, only you can take back the years that have been robbed from your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, it's still...
And whatever was robbed from you, it was a learning experience. I mean, stuff happened to you that you learn from.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, like, every time your car breaks down, every time you get a flat tire, the first time that it happened, I bet everybody freaks out so much.
Yeah, you just don't know what to do.
You know,
you're calling the people
the first time I had a blowout, I was in the fast lane on the freeway.
Dang, that's scary.
You know, and I had a blowout on the left side, rear left tire.
Yeah.
And my car just bounced and started rolling, and I was like, what's going on? I looked back, and I can see that the tire was flapping around in the back of my rear view. So I, you know, slowly, little by little, lane by lane by lane, got off and rolled down. I was freaking out. I was stressing. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? How am I going to change this tire? Blah, 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 blah. Take a moment, take a second, regroup. I have a spare in the back. Let me change the tire. Let me get home. Then I'll figure out how to get a new tire.
Yeah. And this, you know, and it's funny because you look back at it now, you're like, man, I was tripping so hard.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like a blowout. All right.
Why am I stressing out so bad about this? It's like every time I get a flat now, it's like, all right, here we go again.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and that's just one of the things. It's not necessarily about New Year's resolutions. I think for us, it's one of those things that this is the year that we take back what we need, or we need to, where we get back to where we need to.
It's our New Year's journey.
So lame.
Well, I mean, okay, so it was a journey to get to where we are now. Is just as much a journey and a road to take to get to where we want.
I understand. I get it. I'm just giving you.
Do you though?
I get it. So, but you know, another part of that thing, our journey is we need to get one of the things. Again, I'll keep reiterating it throughout the duration of however long we do this podcast. This is
20 years.
This is specifically geared toward us getting creative again.
Yep.
Again, with the whole topic of trying to do what we got away from, you being dance, being hip hop. Again, one of my biggest things is getting back to hip hop. So what I want to do is, if you'll join me in this exercise of sorts. Oh
yes.
I have my old phone because Apple has some great in the App Store. They have some great apps. So there's one called the Novation Launchpad, and that one is so much fun. Like, I got it open right here.
Oh, right.
And then you just...
Split different.
Right. I think, remember we messed with this on the way to Vegas? I'm going to turn it down here a little bit.
Well, you messed with it because I was driving.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn it down here a little bit. There you go.
Ready? This is just for you. Ready? Here you go. Here you go.
I like how you're trying to...
Bah!
Oh, God. Wait. Do it again. All right. So one of the other apps that I like to use, one of the other apps that's a little bit more customizable, that one has like pre-made loops that you can buy or whatever. One of them I use from the same company is called Bloxwave. So what I went ahead and did is I did something for us. Or excuse me, I lied. It's not Bloxwave. It's Groovebox.
Groovebox.
Yes, it's Groovebox. Again, they're all three of them are for the same company, so you can make whatever. So we'll get that going here. So online, and we'll put links for all this stuff, Groovebox, Launchpad, all that stuff.
If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, share.
Because we're about to do some dumb stuff.
Oh yeah.
So if you go to Google and you type in freestyle generator, the very first one gives you a song lyrics generator. And so I got it up right here.
It's cool because you can put a lot of different things that you want to put. The song, it'll automatically put in the song for you.
Right, so it's treated like a Mad Lib type thing, and you can put whatever you want. So we went ahead and filled this out beforehand.
Yep. Song length, medium, and mediocre.
Our title's about the predicament, what we're going to be rapping about. Our chorus we set to meaningful. Our random shooping is 5, 6, 7, 8, which is important for dancers.
All my dancers is the four most important numbers in all of existence.
So with this website, you can change different criteria. This one, the narrative viewpoint, is third person. So you know what I mean? The two things that the protagonist loves is rap and dance. Two things we hate. We put olives and burglars because I couldn't think of anything else. I hate people trying to jack. Later on in the podcast, I'll talk about how they broke into my house twice.
Yikes.
Their occupation, we're students. I mean, he's a student. I need to be a student again.
We're lovable.
We're lovable. Our adjective is lovable. Two leisurely activities that we enjoy doing, rapping and dancing. Two words that we like to use. Tubular. And I put ay because we're from El Paso. And you absolutely hate ay.
I hate that expression.
I don't like it
It's
either.
not even a word. It's an expression. I just don't like it.
Ay.
See what I mean?
And then two friends we like to hang out with. Josh sometimes. And Itzel because...
Love you, baby.
And finally, what's our band name? Unbounded.
Unbounded.
All right, here we go. And then you just click, write me a freestyle song. It'll load here in a second. All right, check it out. Sergio, I'm going to give you this camera. It's now recording.
Yeah, here we go. Hold on. Look pretty. Yeah, slow down.
I'm focusing in. All right, good. So you're going to film our inserts as we do this rap song, and we'll just go back and forth. Yo, what's good? What's good? All right, so the name of the song is How Much Do They Love Dance?
A lot.
All right, so I'm going to take the first verse and the first hook. Can you see it? So I'll take the first verse and the first hook.
Okay.
And then you'll take the second one. This is the hook right here. You'll take the second one. They like
starting on the second verse.
Yeah.
After the first hook.
Yeah. So you'll take that one and the second hook, and then I'll do the last one, the last hook, and then the last one.
I'll do this one.
Which one?
That one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do the beginning one, ending, and I'll do the middle.
Perfect.
Sound good?
All right. You ready?
Oh yeah. Let's go. Hold on. Let's start these inserts real.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Here we go.
Hey. Yo. They get on life. I messed that up. Let's do it again from the top because there aren't any mistakes. They get on with life. As a student, they're kind of the lovable type. Yo, they like rapping on Sundays. They like dancing in the week. Yo, and they like to contemplate rap. But when they start to daydream, their mind turns straight to dance. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes I look at them in their eyes. I notice the way that they dance with a smile. Curved lips, they just can't disguise the way they think about rap, making their life worthwhile. Why is it hard for them to decide what they love more, rap or dance? Why is it so hard for them to decide what they love more? Hey, rap or dance?
They like to use words like tubular. They like to use words like ay. They like to use words about rap. But when they stop their talking, their mind turns straight to dance. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sometimes I look at them, I look into their eyes. I notice the way they think about dance with a smile. Curved lips, they just can't disguise, but they think it's rap making their life worthwhile. Why is it so hard for them to decide which they love more, rap or dance? Why is it so hard for them to decide which they love more, rap or dance? They like to hang out with Josh. They like to kick it back with each said, oh yeah. But when left alone, their mind turns straight to dance. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Sometimes I look at them and look into their eyes. I notice the way they think about dance with a smile. Curved lips, they just can't disguise, but they think it's rap making their life worthwhile. So why is it so hard for them? Why is it so hard for them to decide which they love more, rap or dance? Why is it so hard for them to decide which they love more, rap or dance? They're not too fond of olives, and they really hate burglars. Yeah.
But they think that I messed that up. But let's go ahead and kick it from the top because that's how we do it. We keep kicking and keep flowing and keep spitting because that's how we do all day. We're in the Unbounded podcast. I'm not gonna stop freestyling because I'm actually pretty terrible. And if I keep spitting, I'll look like a fool. They're not too fond of olives. They really hate burglars. And they think back to dancing, they're happy once again. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Why is it so hard for them to decide what they love more, rap or dance? Why is it so hard for them to decide what they love more, rap or dance? So, it's not actually very hard. Thank you for indulging us.
Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for watching our episode.
You know what I just realized? We're gonna put this out on the internet.
I know. Be nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
But as I mentioned before, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share.
Please do.
If you enjoyed it, show people. If you didn't enjoy it, show people anyways. Tell them why you didn't like it.
So we got a lot more content coming your way. Just about different things that we're totally into that we like to do. Again, Sergio really, he loves dance. And I love hip hop and rap. And we're not giving up anytime soon. So join us on the journey. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that. Let us know.
Yeah.
So that's been another episode
of the
Unbounded podcast. For Sergio and myself, I'd like to say peace. Thank you for joining us. Again,
Thank you.
I am Daniel Ibarra.
I'm Sergio Manriquez. Join us next time.
And we'll catch you. Outro?
Let's do it.
And if you're really into music, I know I started that off beat. I like McDonald's and I want a chicken patty. I want to be a fatty. And I like Fruit Loops. Oops, I sipped on an ice cube. Cause I'm flowing in and out of bars. I've never been an alcoholic. Don't know what to call. They call it invade. You can never stop it. Cause they be loving the way that I do this. Not spitting bars so fluid. A nerdy kid in the front of the class. Nobody ever knew that it was possible. Now for this kid to go and grab a microphone. Now rocking the rhythm for the savior that said that it was impossible. But look at him now, they're gonna smack down, call him Ignacio. Because quick lyrics and spirits when I be spitting it now. Getting near it to hear it when I be kicking it. By kicking it, I mean cracking his headphones when they bump the 6 synonyms invade. They'll be fearing him like the spirit of God lives in him. Because it does. Probably. I don't know.
Probably not, though. Hey,
probably not. Peace.